one of our everyday entrepreneur interviews. I am so excited to be here today with Crystal Schmitt, who is hailing from the lovely Hawaii. So Crystal, you want to say a quick hello?
Aloha. That's how we say hello in Hawaii.
I love it, love it. So a little bit on Crystal's background and then we'll dive in. Crystal Schmitt is the founder and managing member of Maui Dragon Fruit Farm, LLC. She founded Maui Dragon Fruit Farm with her husband, Lawrence Schmitt, in the year 2009. Maui Dragon Fruit Farm is the first commercial organic dragon fruit farm on Maui. In addition to cultivating 16 varieties of dragon fruit, the farm also grows many other types of tropical fruit trees like coconuts, pineapple, banana, papaya, sour sop, pomegranate, figs, and also features a tea garden with mamaki tea as their main tea crop. The farm also offers ecotourism tours like zipline, aquaball, and is home to a friendly herd of alpacas. It is a USDA certified organic farm and practices organic, regenerative, and sustainable farming. So Crystal, we're so excited to have you. I love to talk to somebody that's in the farming industry as an entrepreneur. So welcome.
Aloha, everyone. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I'm going to kick things off. I want to know a little bit about the farm itself. We talk about the variety of fruits that you offer. How did it get started? I don't know if you want to show the beautiful view that you have there that you showed me earlier, but talk a little bit about the farm itself and kind of what that looks like as a business.
Sure. So the Maui Dragon Fruit Farm is actually located in Lahaina, Hawaii. This area is called Naniapoko. So Naniapoko means short coconuts. And we have the fabulous, best panoramic ocean view. I'm gonna turn the camera and do a pan here.
Yeah, I mean, it's stunning, guys. Gorgeous. I'm so jealous.
Anyway, so this area is called West Maui. So Maui has 7 different weather zones. Every spot you turn around, it's different. If one location rains, the other location probably completely dry. So we divide the island into leeward and windward. You see the wind's picking up. We have a gust wind today. So the Maui Dragon Fruit Farm is on the leeward side. That means it's on the side who does not rain. It's sunny 360 days a year. It only rains about 10 times a year. So dragon fruit happen to be a cactus vine, which is a cactus plant. So they like sunny and dry weather. That's the reason we choose this particular location. So the reason we start this farm is actually a long story. I try to make it really kind of short. So me and my husband met actually in graduate school in University of Hawaii at Manoa, which is in Honolulu. We both actually educated as mechanical engineers. So we both have a master's degree in mechanical engineering. I worked 15 years in the hotel industry. Basically, I worked for Marriott International, Starwood Hotels and Resorts, Outrigger Hotels and Resorts. Looks like we need to move inside. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's getting really, really windy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move inside.
Okay, perfect.
So, yeah, this is a bamboo cottage we built, by the way. So, I was a mechanical engineer. Basically, I was a chief engineer and director of engineering for major resorts on Maui. It's very big ones, like the Hilton Waikoloa, Hilton Wailea, Wailea Marriott, Renaissance, the major resort. So my mother is an immigrant, and she came from China. She helped me to raise my 2 young daughters so I can pursue my career. After 2007, one of the biggest resorts on Maui, which I was a director of engineering at, get shut down. So my mother persuaded me, says, you know what, why not you take a break and take your daughters to China to study Chinese because she only speaks Chinese and she wants to be able to communicate with the girls. And also I was kind of like a midlife crisis. I'm not quite happy with my engineering career, even though it's doing really well for me. So I'm actually want to switch to become an accountant. I do have a master's degree in business administration. They call it MBA. So when I pursued my MBA education, I took a couple of accounting classes and I fell in love with it. I would like to be an accountant. I just love accounting. If I would knew, I would never be an engineer. But so what I decided that I take the girls to China to study Chinese. In the meantime, I was doing my CPA tests and get all my credentials together to ready to switch to accounting. When we got to China with the two girls, they were 4 and 7. We first found this really interesting fruit, which is dragon fruit. We have not ever tasted or seen it before in Hawaii. And my daughters loved it. They loved the fruit. So we started buying them almost every day. After many months of consuming them almost daily, we found out dragon fruit is good for diabetes. It's very, very good for diabetes. So it's my mom's desire. She said, you know, why not we grow this on Maui? That would be so good for the people with diabetes. So my family has a hereditary history of every single member of my family got diabetes, including myself, my mother. So she has a very strong desire. She said, if we grow this fruit in Hawaii, on Maui especially, we can, you know, provide all this to the people there because, you know, Hawaii have very high diabetes rate. So for me, so that basically it's the reason we started the farm, but I was not really too enthusiastic about it in the beginning. After I came back from China, I was ready to start my new career. So I asked my mother to come back to China to continue to help with my daughters. She said, you know, Krista, I'm not going back to Maui anymore. I was like, why not? She said, Maui does not have dragon fruit. I was like, Mom, Maui is not going to have dragon fruit. I know you want it, but you know, you still have to come back to help me. He said, how about you start growing them? I said, no, I'm not going to grow them. I have no idea who they are, what they are. How I'm just going to start grow a dragon fruit. I'm an engineer and now I'm an accountant. She said, you know what? Let me go ahead and study. So my mother was 75 years old at the time. She is actually a serial successful entrepreneur back in China when she was younger. She always willing to learn. And she really inspired us that never too late anytime in your life to start something new. But I still didn't take it too seriously. I said, you know, Ma, you go ahead and learn whatever you like. So a few months later, she called me. She said, Crystal, you know, I found this farm. I'm learning how to grow the dragon fruit now. I really think it's really feasible to do this on Maui. So how about you just go ahead and do that? It's a, but you know, this, I said, what kind of process does it take? He said, the process is you need to get permits. So it turns out dragon fruit is protected internationally. Any cactuses are protected. So to get import, you need have import permits. For China to export, I need to get export permits from China. She did negotiate a contract for us about 10,000 cuttings. But after all that, you know, in the end, we actually end up never bring anything from China, just so you know, because the permits are very, very complicated, difficult over there. So back to the original, I was really troubled with, because we don't have a piece of land we can grow. We don't want to go with very small. We want to like go at least 20 acres. The dragon fruit plant, once it's grown, you can produce fruit for 25 years. So we really do not want to lease the land because we don't want to grow the fruit and then 10 years later say, sorry, your lease expired. So we have to buy it. It's very challenging because land in Hawaii, when you talk about 20 acres or 20 plus, you talk about millions of dollars. So we very hesitated, and I just not really too excited about it. So my mom keep pushing it. So when we cannot get the permit from China, I almost gave up. I said, "Yeah, that's great. I don't have to worry about dragon fruit." My husband, on the other hand, she was like, if it's really good idea like this, it's really so beneficial, let's research more. So my husband found out actually there's about 36 types in the world of dragon fruit. China only have 2. My mom only know about 2 types over there. So I start getting very excited. I'll say, oh my gosh, there's such diversity out there. So my husband actually managed to research and found the 16 best varieties of dragon fruit from all over the world. Then we said, okay, how about we just do this? So we decided to do this. So I gave up my accounting career. My husband is a programmer. So he was, even though get a master's degree in mechanical engineering, he actually was a really good programmer. So he programmed for University of Hawaii for many, many years. When he moved to Maui, he started doing solar water heating installation because he really likes alternate energy, he like renewable energy field, but he also gave up on that. So we decided there really because we want to make my mom's wish come true. It's really motivated and inspired by my mom. So we decided that let's do it. So we formed the Maui Dragon Fruit Farm, and then we started to put all of our time, energy, resources, knowledge into try to grow dragon fruit farm and formed the company in 2009.
This is a wild ride that I just went on for sure. I feel like I did not expect any of this. But that's so exciting. That's what makes entrepreneurship so exciting. I think like your transparency of it, you had never anticipated being an entrepreneur. You wanted to go and your career transition was going to be accounting, and now you're running this successful farm in Hawaii that is producing this dragon fruit that was not native to Hawaii. So that, I mean, that's just so powerful. So talk a little bit about, I think we talked a little bit about some of the challenges and obstacles in that story. What are the things that you're most proud of? What are your biggest successes in your opinion?
So I always telling people education is never wasted. Like even though I have a master's in mechanical engineering, master's in MBA, and I get this educated in accounting, basically certified as a CPA, none of this are wasted in my endeavor to run in a farm. So the first thing I did is because we have to get financing for the land purchase, and we did a lot of money to start the farm. I wrote a really, really nice feasibility study and business plan. So that is, if without the MBA education, I really think would be much harder. So I wrote this really nice, proud of that. What I did is I wrote a really, really nice business plan. And then I started shopping around for financing. So when I reached, I actually, first of all, I reached my in-laws. I know they're doing stock investment, they always invest in interesting businesses. So I approached my father-in-law and I said, how you think about this? I gave him the plan and read. He was like, Crystal, everything looks good. However, he said, I'm 70 years old, 75. He's the same age as my mother. He said, I never heard of dragon fruit. I never eat the dragon fruit. I never saw one. He said, even if you manage to grow there, Crystal, how you going to market in it? How do you know people going to buy it? So he was not too enthusiastic. We approached the local banks, multiple of them. Everybody told us exactly the same thing. So we never heard of it. We never eat it. We never saw it. Even if it's you grow them, how are you going to sell? How are you going to sell? So they are not really open to it either. So I passed around this feasibility study to different people I know in the lawn business. And then surprisingly, one day I get a call from a bank from Tennessee, United States of America, not from Hawaii. I mean, it's actually on the mainland. And this bank president called me and says, I'm reading your feasibility study, your business plan. It's probably one of the best plans prepared by a farmer, she said. So she said, we're definitely interested. How about we meet? So at that time, Zooming is not so prevalent, obviously, then. She actually flew over from the mainland to Hawaii to meet with me and my husband. At that time, we connected the 16 best varieties, and it's in the backyard, and they're all there. we're not 100% sure it's going to be how well it's going to grow, but it's obviously we're getting started. And then she spent about a whole day with us and talked to us. I understand, it's a big risk for them, but at the end of the day, she said, let's do it. So we got financing, and then we happened to be very lucky. The West Maui land company, it happened to sell a piece of land. It's around, actually it was 15 acres to start. So we're okay, we're looking at it. But a week later, they called me. She said, Crystal, if you're really serious about farming, I actually have this 27 acres, which is not on the market, but it's a little bit farming friendly, less rocky. And the person who it's just during the financial, I think it's 2009, the stock market was not doing well. So the person who wanted to buy it decided to not buy it anymore. She said, how about this piece? And we look at it, we really like it because it's obviously over 20 acres. It's much more friendly for farming. So it's all come together. So we purchased the land, and then I have a brother who is very supportive of me. So he actually, he has some money. So he helped us purchase some equipment. And then we just, at that point on, we just hit the ground running. It's if you would know what the land looked like until what we have now, it's, we did so much. We're so proud. We basically transformed a piece of land, just dust, rocks, to a beautiful, beautiful land now with so many different things and so beautiful. And everybody was so proud of the facility we have created from a piece of dirt. Yeah.
I love that. I've like literally from the ground up. This is so incredible. I do have to ask, like, how did you go about selling it? Like, how did you convince people to buy your dragon fruit that they'd never heard of? Like, what was that process like?
Sure. So we approached Whole Foods because we're USDA certified organic. We approached the Whole Foods, and the Whole Foods is open for it. So they have like 7 stores in Hawaii, all different islands. So they purchased it. And then we also approached all the hotels, the chefs, and they look at exotic, because Maui have a lot of restaurants and hotels. There's another advantage we do have. For those of you not familiar, we are an island of 155,000 people, but we do have 3 million visitors per year. Mm-hmm. So we approached everyone, and we also started a agriculture tourism, which is to bring people to our farm to look at everything we do and teach them about organic farming, about how to grow dragon fruit. So we do sell a lot on site. And then we do have a farmer's market. Since obviously it takes many years to establish the orchard, so that produce the yield, it's grow gradually. So it's not like the first year we have tons. We have a little bit at a time, and we're educating. So we actually never had any fruit unsold. We sold everything we produced, ever since the beginning.
I love that you went out in the community, and I'm assuming you took dragon fruit with you, and you were like, try this, offer it. And they were like, okay. Yes.
Actually, I did. I remember this one time I even went to a Rotary Club and I did a presentation there, and the Rotary Club members like it. See, dragon fruit was such a fabulous fruit. Once you taste them, a lot of people just love them. And it's getting so popular now. Actually, not a year ago, just back, at least it's 5 years now. All of a sudden, jumbo juice, people say, Crystal, jumbo juice now have dragon fruit smoothie. So it is getting a lot of more known now, not just because of my effort, just in general. People are it's getting more and more popular. Yes.
And you went in at a good time, right? To get on the front end of that.
Yes. Yeah. And we brought in the best 16 variety. So most of the dragon fruit is in America, it's from Vietnam. And Vietnam really only grow one variety. It's called the Vietnam Jana. It's this big one. but it doesn't taste very good. So sometimes when people taste that, it gives some very like not so good reputation. They think it's not tasty enough. But everybody telling me once they taste our dragon fruit, they said, "Oh my God, this tastes so different, so good. Yeah, it's really nice." So the varieties we have also a lot different from people just buy from the mainland, some supermarket from Vietnam variety.
I love that. I think that's incredible. I also think it shows the entrepreneurial spirit that you started with, like agritourism. You offered farm tours. Now you offer zip lining, aqua, like you're kind of tapping into that tourism market. And so I just think it shows like the importance of diversifying your revenue streams. And so
absolutely,
love that.
Yeah, have to diversify. You have to diversify. Yes.
So I know that we got connected through Maui Biz Brainstormers, and I just was wondering, we're really big on ecosystem and the people that help entrepreneurs. So if you were giving advice to an entrepreneur just starting out about maybe where they could go in their community to get started or to make partners, do you have any advice on that piece?
I think my biggest advice is just be open-minded, and sometimes you take on to do something, and then along the way you find some other ideas. Just don't afraid, go for it. So go for it. You always, not everybody started from what the original idea. Like for me also, like I never thought I'm going to be a dragon fruit farmer, but when this really, other people's dream, other people's wish, honor them, or your own passion, doesn't matter. I think it's more motivational if you do for somebody else, actually. Like for us, we really want to honor my mom's wish. And the power of a mother, just so for mothers out there, is so powerful on their kids. So my advice would be always be open-minded, always be creative. Like when we first started, we have to make money right away, but fruits take years and years. What you do, like we have challenges, just encounter it head on. Don't give up. Don't be afraid. Just be open-minded and really take on challenges and try to come up with the creative ways to make things happen.
I think that is so powerful. If I ever get over there, I'm going to visit and I'm going to taste your 16 varieties of dragon fruit. I don't know if I've ever tasted dragon fruit. So I'm excited. Where can people learn more about what you do? Do you have a website, social media? Do you want to give a quick plug here for how people can learn more about what you're doing?
Yeah, we have both a website. It's mauidragonfruit.com. And we also have a Facebook page, Instagram. I personally not too good with social media. I do have team members who does that. So it's certainly a lot of information out there. And for our adventure tours, it's paradiseicoadventures.com. We also have a Facebook as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Crystal, for joining us. Your story was so powerful. I'm excited to share it. And we will be sure to just share this story with across America, people that need to hear something that tangible. Like it might not be what you think you're going to do, but it might be where you're supposed to be. So thank you.
Thank you.